In today's video, we're going to be making these Halloween ghosts. They are very cute. I put a tea light under this one. Makes him glow very nicely, and I've used the smallest safety eyes that I can find, but if you don't have safety eyes, you can just embroider them on. 2.25mm hook, stitch marker, because we're going to be working in the round, and like I say before, I like my saffron. It's very soft, it's easy to use. So let's get started. So for the first round, we're going to do a magic circle. You just wrap it around your fingers and make it into a cross at the front. Under the first one, pull up the second one, and then with this tail end, we're just going to pull it through. That is your magic circle, and we're going to pop 6 single crochets into this magic circle. So we've got 1, 2, whoops, 3, 4, 5, and that's number 6. And before I go any further, I always put my stitch marker in the last stitch, so I know which is the last stitch in each round. We're going to pull that closed, so you're going to pull on this little tail end and put it tighter in a minute. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets into every stitch for the next round, so that's an increase round. So this is our first one here. So we've got 1, 2, 2 in the next one, 3, 4, 2 in the next one will be 5 and 6. The next one is 7 and 8. The next one's 9 and 10. And remove the stitch marker for the last 2, which is 11 and 12. 11 and 12. Put this straight back in. Going to close the hole even tighter. As you can see, it's still gaping, so wrap your yarn around your hook and just check which way it's going. So we need to go this way. Just give it a little tug and it's all gone. Now into round 3, we're going to do another lot of increases. So we're going to do 1 single crochet and then our increase. So here's our first stitch here. Got 1 single crochet and then 2 in this next one here. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. So we've got 1 single crochet and then an increase in this next one, so 2 in here. Just keep repeating 1 single crochet and an increase until you get to the end, and you'll have 18 stitches by the time you finish this round. And that one's hiding under here, like 1 single crochet and an increase in this one. And then we've got the last one, 1 single crochet, take the stitch marker out and 2 in this last one. Row 4, we're going up another one now, so we're going to do 2 single crochets. So we've got 1 in the first one, 1 in the second stitch, and then you're going to increase in the third stitch, 2 in this one. I'll do one more with you. So we've got 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and again in the following stitch, and then an increase in the third one. So if you carry that pattern on around, 2 single crochets and followed by an increase, I'm going to meet you back under your stitch marker. Into row 5, we're going up another one, so we're doing 3 separate single crochets. We've got 1, 2 and 3, followed by an increase in the following stitch, 2 in that one. I'll show you once more. 3 separate single crochets, 1, 2, 3, followed by an increase in the following stitch. So you carry on that pattern. I'll meet you back under your stitch marker. Into row 6, we're now on 4 single crochets before we do our increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our increase. So I'll let you carry on around and I'll meet you back under your stitch marker. Right, into row 7, this is going to be your last excuse me, increase round. So we are going to be doing 5 single crochets before our increase. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increase in this next one. So I'm going to let you hit pause and follow the pattern around, and I'll meet you back under your stitch marker. Now for the next 9 rounds, so that's rows 8 through to row 16, we're just going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch. We're building the sides down now. So you're not going to want to watch me do a whole round of single crochets. So if you carry on going around, remember to move your stitch marker at the end of each round, and I will see you back at the beginning of row 17. Now into row 17, we're going to come in slightly. So we're going to do a decrease. So we need to do our 5 single crochets. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. And then for an invisible decrease, we pick up the front loop of the next 2 stitches. So I've got 1, I flick it round and bring up the second one. Pull the yarn through those first 2 and then finish it off, yarning through. Do one more set with you. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, this is number 5, and then the invisible decrease, you pick up the front loop of the next 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. So if you carry on, I'll meet you back under your stitch marker. Row 18, we're just going to do single crochets all the way around. Now you will have 36 in this round now. So you're just going to pop 1 into every stitch. So I'm going to let you carry on and I'll be back after your stitch marker. Row 19 is our last decrease round, so we're going to do 4 single crochets before our increase. Let's do 3 and 4, and now our decrease. So pick the first loop up of the next 2 stitches, yarn through and yarn through. Do one more set with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our decrease, front loop and front loop, pull through and pull through. So if you carry on, I'm going to meet you back under your stitch marker. Row 20, we're back to just a single crochet round, and we will have 30 single crochets in this round. So just pop 1 single crochet into every stitch, and then I'll meet you back under your stitch marker. Now row 21 is going to be our last round, and we're going to make these bumps at the bottom. So you're going to do quite a few stitches in 1 stitch. So I'm going to start off with a half double crochet in the next stitch. So you yarn over and you pull up a loop and you go through all 3. That's your half double crochet. Now we're going to do a double crochet in the same stitch. Yarn over, pull up your loop. You're going to pull it through 2, and then you're going to pull it through the last 2. Now we're going to go up even higher. We're going to do a treble crochet. So you need to yarn over twice. So now you've got 3 on your hook going in that same stitch. Pull up a yarn. We're going to pull it through 2, which is these 2, and then through 2 again. And then it leaves you 2 on your hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. Now we're just going to do that in reverse now. So we're going to do a double crochet in the same stitch. Pull up the yarn. You've got 3. Pull it through 2, pull it through 2, and then a half double crochet in that same stitch. You're going to pull it through all 3. So that is your first little nodule, your bump. Then in this next stitch, you're going to have to pull it to see it's hiding. We're going to do a single crochet to tie it all down. And then to get over to our next one, we're just going to slip stitch 1. So we've got a little bit of a gap in between. So you're going to pull the yarn through, but you're going to go straight through the stitch on there. And then we're going to kind of do that again. So we're going to just start off with a single crochet in the next stitch. The following one, we're going to go straight in and do a half double crochet. So you're going through all 3. A double crochet in the same stitch. So through 2. And then through 2, and then a treble. So we've gone twice around our hook. Pull that back out of the way. Into the same stitch, pull up a loop. We're going to come through 2, and then 2. I haven't quite gone through all that one. Let me just pick up those strands there. There we go. And then through 2. Now in reverse, double crochet in the same stitch, through 2 and through 2, and a half double in that same stitch. So you're going to go through all 3. The next stitch, obviously you need to pull it back to see it, is your single crochet. So that's your second nodule done. I'll do one more with you, and then you can either rewind and keep playing it back if you need some help. We're going to the next one, so we're just going to do 1 slip stitch just to give it a bit of separation. Then we're going to do a single crochet, half double crochet in the next stitch. Let me just make sure I'm in the right one. Here we go. Double crochet in that same stitch, through 2 and through 2, treble, so twice over on your hook, through the same hole. We're going to go through 2 and then another 2 and then the last 2. In reverse, double crochet, half double crochet, and then in the following stitch, once you pull it back to see where you are, we're just going to do that single crochet. There we have it. So I'll let you carry on. I'm going to meet you and we'll do the last one together so we know how to join. Okay, we've got one more here to do. So I've already done my single crochet. I'm going to do my slip stitch, then another single crochet, and this is when we're going to put all of our stitches in. I'm going to take the stitch marker out because that's going to get in my way, but we're working into this stitch, so our last stitch is going to be a single crochet, so we're not going to be able to fit a last slip stitch in. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to do our half double crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, still got a few strands on there, double crochet, half double crochet, and we're just going to finish off in this next stitch with a single crochet. Pull enough yarn to sew it off. So there we have our little ghostie. Let me just find a needle. I'm just going to slip this through a few stitches at the back. So just feed it through the next stitch as if you're doing a slip stitch, but going straight through to the back. Why is that not all coming? There we go. And then on the back here, I'm just going to feed it through a couple of stitches to make sure it's secure. Can't pick it up, it's quite a tight stitch, that one. There we go. That should be enough. And I'm going to turn it inside out for a second because I want to get rid of our starting thread, this one here. So we'll thread that one as well. And we're just going to do the same thing up here. Feed it through a couple of stitches. If I can get under them. 1, 2. And then we're going to snip both of these off. So the last thing to do now is to pop the eyes on. Now we know this is our last 2 because there's not a definitive gap between them. So I'm going to put the eyes on this side, and I generally go between rows 8 and 9. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's this one here. And I do 3 stitches apart. So 1, 2. I'm going to pop one here. So if you pop your hook in, it does give you an idea of where you're going. And then push that through. And then I'm going to go back 3. So we're going to find 1, 2, 3. So I'm going in this next one. And if you're happy where you've placed them, you're going to need to turn it inside out and pop your backs on. You have to remember these are just decorations, so you can always put slip knots on or embroider them on. And there we have our ghostie. It would be nice if you could maybe put some yarn going through, have them hanging like some bunting, or you can put a chocolate egg in it as a gift. Loads of possibilities, but I like to just pop plastic tea light, obviously never put a real one in, and I think they look rather cute. So if you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll do another one.